You're listening to the Not So Black and White Real Estate Podcast with your hosts, Sir Colin Campbell and Gary A. McGowan.
Good day, good day, good day. It's your host, Sir Colin Campbell, here with Gary A. McGowan, and you're tuned into the Not So Black and White Real Estate Podcast. We're at Keller Williams Family Reunion here in Anaheim, and we have someone that I truly love and respect. My sister, Julia Lashay Israel. Welcome.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be on this show right now.
Gary, I almost feel you need to be in the middle so we can create this Oreo kind of effect.
That's right, I know. That's good. I love being here, though. I love being here. Julie, tell us, for those that don't know, our listeners and everyone watching, tell us a little bit about what you do at KWRI.
All right, I would love to. I am the head of inclusion and belonging. And what that means is that we have a goal of, as you know, we've got market centers and offices all over the world. And the goal is that people, any people, whoever they are, what they look like, where they come from, who they love, what they believe, can walk into any one of those market centers and recognize this company as the place where they can build a thriving real estate business. That's the goal. 100% inclusion all across the country.
I love it.
So simple. It's to the point right away. How do we now put that into action?
Yeah, that's also a great question.
Yeah.
When it's put that way, most people say, oh, yeah, okay. My dilemma is that we often call it DEI, which is a buzzword, right? And a lot of people are like not feeling the buzzword, myself included, actually, because it is too convoluted sometimes when it is as simple as you just said, Sir Colin. Yeah. It's really that simple. We help people learn how to do that really by educating people about people. We're in a people business. Everything we do is to attract people to us so that we can serve people. And if we are not educating ourselves about all the very many different people that exist out there, we're really doing ourselves a disservice by minimizing the amount of impact that we could have and the amount of business we could be doing if we were a little more open to learning more about all the people.
Interesting that you say that. Now, what would you say to someone who say, I don't see color, I don't see different, ethnic groups or cultures, I just see people?
Yes, I know people say that, and generally they're well-meaning. They say, oh, I just love all God's people, and that's well-intended. There is a dilemma with that, and there is a challenge with that, is that we are different and we have different experiences.
Yeah.
We're different culturally, and particularly in real estate. There's large disparities that exist for people based on who they are. And so if we're, especially as real estate agents, being blind to the fact that people have barriers or obstacles or challenges because of their individuality, then we are not doing our fiduciary duty of serving people at a high level. It is our job and our role as real estate professionals to understand the challenges that people have,
right?
Understand the barriers that people have, understand the disparities that exist in real estate so that we can help them with whatever they need to reach an equal outcome. But if we say, oh, they're all the same, we're really missing an opportunity to serve the people in the way that they need to be served.
I love it. Here's what I love too is when I hear you speak, I feel like I'm also being educated, which I think is what you would love to happen all the time,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And what I love too is, or here's my question, and you sort of answered it, but I want to dig a little deeper if we can. Is what do people need to be in tune with? And I can just stop there. What do people need to be in tune with?
I think I've learned in this role in particular that people need to be in tune with the fact that everybody has different perspectives, everybody has differences, and that's actually okay.
Yeah.
I use an analogy a lot of times about the lens that we see the world through. And you're from Canada,
of course,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm from a lot of places in the United States, and I don't know where you're from.
Gary's from Canada as well.
Canada,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But because of where you're from and your individuality and how you grew up and your family structure and things like that, we all look at the world with our own lens. And so if my lens is red and everything I see in the world is through this red lens, if I'm looking at this big yellow vase, let's pretend we have a big yellow vase, through my red lens, for me it's orange.
Right.
But you all are from Canada, and you probably don't have 3 older brothers, and your parents may not be ministers, and you may not, you don't have my exact same story.
Right.
So maybe you look at the world through a blue lens.
Yeah.
If you're looking at this big yellow vase, for you it's green.
Sure.
Which one of us is right or wrong?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Well, here's the interest. Like Colin being an immigrant to Canada, me being first generation to Canada or to North America, my upbringing is entirely different.
Absolutely.
Right?
Exactly.
Being, I'm from a mixed relationship in the sense that my dad's from India and brown skinned color, where my mom would be Welsh and white and things like that. Yet growing up, I never saw a difference. It wasn't until I was older that I learned that there is a difference.
There is, yeah.
Interesting, right?
Yeah. It is interesting. And that's also a beautiful story. Just the concept is, that's cool. That's okay.
Yeah.
You saw it green. I saw it orange.
Exactly.
Your
Now
dad is
let's
from
sit and
India.
chat.
So-
Yeah, right? Because
Yeah.
you saw a different color.
Yeah.
Or you're seeing things from a different perspective. You see 9, I see 6. Now let's sit and have a coffee and understand each
Because
other.
here's the reality, you all. I still have a buyer that wants to buy, and you have a seller that wants to sell.
There you go.
I'm just trying to figure out if we can still play in the sandbox together.
That's right.
That's all. And the way we do that is just by respecting that we have different perspectives.
Yeah.
And we have different upbringings, and we have different lifestyles, and we can still do a lot of business by just respecting our differences. That's it.
Now, what would you say to that agent who is predominantly servicing their own community, but is looking to build a bigger business?
I would say education and learning and expanding and reaching out into those different markets. And like I said, understanding different challenges and barriers that different people may have so that you come with the right resources. Part of you saying, oh, I don't see color, is that there are different resources for certain communities that are necessary. I explain it a little bit like a plumber. If something goes wrong with the plumbing in your house, the plumber comes and they bring a toolbox because they don't know exactly what's going to be wrong with your plumbing. We should be operating in the same way. If I meet someone based on their individuality or where they're at in their life journey or story, they have a different set of circumstances, and ideally, I should be coming with whatever resource I need for that person. I don't know what it's going to be until I talk to you, but I should be prepared, and we need education for that, and we need tools and resources for that so we can serve all the people.
So what question should we be asking ourselves so we're better aware of our differences, but our uniqueness as well?
The question we could be asking ourselves is actually, where am I with all of this whole conversation? Where, like, I call it the Michael Jackson thing. Look at the man in the mirror, right?
There you go.
Really, like, where am I with my own personal biases? Am I in a place where I even want to learn about other people? Am I in a place where maybe I'm not serving everybody the same? It's the first question is just asking ourselves, where am I, and having the awareness that maybe there are some things about ourselves that we could look at and change and work on so that we can be better people, better business people, better real estate professionals, all of those things.
I love it. I love it. And I think this is something, or I don't know what to call this other than this work, if we will. This is something that should never be completed, and we should always be working on it because it's relationships at the end of the day, is it not?
That's exactly what it is, and we're learning based. It is making learning based the foundation of your success. That's one of the 6 personal perspectives, and just continuing to learn because it is. It's not an event. It is a journey of us to become better professionals, and the conversation of how we treat our clients and treat each other in the industry is just part of that journey.
I would just like to learn a little bit more about you and your journey into this position that you hold here in Keller Williams, because obviously this position didn't exist before you.
It did not, yeah.
So, and throughout the day we've been talking about opportunities and us creating our own opportunities. How was this opportunity created?
That's basically exactly what happened. So I've had a number of roles within Keller Williams. I'm an agent. I have a team. I also served as an MCA for 6 years. I was a productivity coach for 5 years. I had a pretty unconventional route to this role. All of that time, however, in the community, I focused on first-time home buyers and the disparities that exist in homeownership, and helping people understand that and learning more about diversity and learning more about people. I just call it people training. Yeah. And I had done a lot of that work and served on a lot of boards and was chapter president of NARAB, which is the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, short for the Black Real Estate Association. And I chaired a number of diversity committees, and I wrote a number of classes about diversity, particularly in real estate. And I started, when Gary started the Social Equity Task Force in 2020, I was one of the regional social equity ambassadors, and I wrote and taught curriculum about this exact subject matter. So it was an opportunity that was created, by just work that I had been doing for many years in our industry and in the community to just help agents understand our role as realtors as it relates to all people and diversity, and also help real estate agents understand our role in helping people get into homeownership, all people. So that transitioned into being a regional social equity task force person to actually overseeing the social equity task force. And then I had the big vision to do a lot more than just that, because we have a lot of work, as you called it, to do.
Yes.
And it has evolved into what this role currently is now as the head of inclusion and belonging.
So it sounds like you took 20 years to become an overnight success.
Yeah. I love how you said that. Yes, I did not just arrive. Like people are like, "Oh, she just arrived." No, this is my 23rd year in real estate.
Amazing. Amazing. Where do I want to go with this? There's obviously, over the last couple of years, you've been running this new venture, if you will, right? And tell us and share some of the successes that you've seen over the last couple of years.
Well, so many. Just the acceptance of it. I'll be honest, in 2020, we had a lot of people who were like, I want no parts of this. What has gone wrong with Gary? They were writing him letters. Have you gone mad? We don't want to talk about this. All kinds of different things to... whereas you all see, people are very receptive of the conversation, and I'm not surprised, because Keller Williams agents are great real estate agents and much more open to learning. We are a learning-based company, and people have been very accepting. We've been able to 16,000 people have taken the color of real estate and unconscious bias in real estate in the last year and a half.
That's amazing.
We have a diversity certification that's launched to help people learn how to grow our business through our differences. 600 people have taken that, and we launched that at Family Reunion last year. Wow. And it costs money, so that's something to say. People paid money to learn how to do that,
that's
right?
Amazing.
And we also have a number of community partnerships, because I think real estate professionals know our neighborhoods and communities better than anybody else. And so we have programs where we go and we teach youth mentorship, particularly in marginalized communities. We teach homebuyer education. We have K-Score. We teach people about this wonderful world of real estate and how they can be a real estate agent and do it at no cost to them using K-Score. Mm-hmm. So we've been doing a lot of that, and that's been a really big success, along with the fact that we've actually increased the number of Black OPs, operating partners, that we've had in Keller Williams. 38% increase, actually.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and so we've been working on equitable opportunities for all. That's where the E came from in 2020. Opportunities for all. So we've had a lot of wins so far.
I love it.
Yeah.
And for those not in our KW world, OP, operating principal, broker, owner.
Yes.
And I love it. And I get to watch and live that every day with Colin here. And it's been fantastic.
Because Colin is an operating partner,
yes,
correct?
That's right.
Yes.
That's
right.
right.
Yeah. And I absolutely love this. And I think you touched on something so important. Doesn't matter what walk of life your background's from. It's how do we help and support others in our communities?
100%. We all do better when we all do better. We all win when we all win. So how do we create those win-wins for everybody?
That's a T-shirt right there. I'm gonna trademark that.
Yeah. There you go. One last question, Colin. What do you have for us?
Julia, obviously your role that you're in right now, it's such a pivotal role because you're the first, mm-hmm. and a lot of people are going to be looking at you. Mm-hmm. You're setting an example. What would you like that legacy to be?
It is. I almost. I'm starting to feel like it's more of a calling, and it's like there's people's lives are being changed by their own acceptance of other people, by their own awareness of. A lot of people will say to me, you really made me change my perspective, and I've been working on being a better person, And then they also say, can you teach this stuff to the government,
Wow. Love it. I love it.
So can we help the politicians have this perspective? But I really do. I just, and that is the win. That's the goal. The legacy that I'd like to leave is that people challenge themselves to just treat each other better, and to be more open-minded and accept our differences, appreciate them. They're beautiful, actually, and appreciate our differences. And by doing that, honestly, I think not only do we have a better real estate industry, we have a better world.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. Okay, I lied. One last question, but this one's easy. How do people get a hold of you?
Oh, okay. I have a website, julialashay.com. That's JuliaLashay.com. You can find me there, or you can email me at julialashay@kw.com.
There you go, my friends. Well, Julia, it is always an honor and a pleasure to hear you speak, present, talk, because there's nothing more that is more exciting than when someone talks about their passion, right?
Yeah.
And you're certainly passionate about changing people's lives.
Definitely, yeah.
And I know Colin and I can't be more proud of you and continue the amazing work.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Very
so
good.
much.
Well, my friends, that is Julia. Of course, that's Colin. I'm Gary McGowan. We'll see everybody on the next episode. Goodbye for now.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to click the subscribe button so new episodes will automatically be downloaded to your device. Please help us reach more people by leaving a rating and a review on your podcast player of choice. Now go make it an amazing day for somebody.